Blessed Mother, thank you for this day. Blessed Father, thank you for this life. Good morning, Blogsters. I know it's some habits, not habits, but I'm grateful for everything that, I'm grateful for everything. But growing up Catholic, you learn to appreciate Jesus's mother, Mary, in a higher regard. Obviously, she isn't a deity, or she isn't. She isn't, God himself or itself, or however you're raised to say it. But she is definitely held as a blessed figure. Obviously, she was blessed with giving us our Savior. So, good morning. I'm going to take another sip because I think I need it, because I just did a whole lot of babbling there for a second, but hopefully it made sense. Now, I know you like a morning chat and we like to sit here and just talk, but I'm going to talk and clean a little bit, because there are so many days that, well, almost every day I wake up and I feel, well, I can't say that. Every day I wake up and I feel like there's something I want to accomplish. Say that. But almost every day I wake up and I feel like I want to be creative. There are a few of those days that are, forgive the bag noises and stuff. There are a few of those days that are actually in line with how I'm feeling physically. So just because I want to be creative, it doesn't mean I can be creative, because physically a lot of times, did I put this towel back here? Physically a lot of times I just don't have it, I don't have the energy, I don't have the stamina, I don't have the strength, I don't have the dexterity. So many times I wake up without the dexterity. Oh, it's like the worst. And it's not the worst. Please forgive me. Forgive me. You guys forgive me. Forgive myself. But that overwhelming, sorry, fire hydrants. Sirens. Sounds like fire. That's fire rescue. Sorry, I didn't mean to have a squirrel moment. Squirrel. I did have a squirrel moment, and now my thought has left the building. I think I was trying to say that my first, my biggest obstacle from time to time is my dexterity, is my hand strength and grip and all the things that come with that. I don't know that you know, so let me put this way. If you're new here, hi, my name's Jeri-Ann. I like to occasionally get on here and just chat about stuff that doesn't always make sense to everybody but myself. But often it makes sense to everybody. Oftentimes, it's my hand strength and dexterity that prevents me from being creative when I want to be, or as creative as I want to be. So with that being said, today was one of those days where I felt like I wanted to do something and I could do something. But I don't know if you watched the vlog from yesterday. That was actually from Thursday. I think it was from Thursday. Sorry, where I showed that my table had just become the whole office has become the landing zone. Yes. The majority of is my stuff that I have to take care of and put away. I'm not denying that. Nobody's complaining about that. Nobody's complaining about my husband. I'm just talking to you guys, okay? But the majority of the stuff is mine, but it doesn't get taken care of right away. And then it ends up becoming like a beast into itself. Today is definitely a morning when I'm going to need extra coffee. I've mentioned it in vlogs past that, oh, that's full. There's 2 spots, 3 spots. Okay. I've mentioned in vlogs past that when I have a Dollar Tree haul, first of all, when I do the day I choose to do a Dollar Tree haul, there's usually 2 motivations to it. One is I've seen something that I want to go to the Dollar Tree and get, or, I mean, that's not 2 different things. Okay, step one is either I've seen something that I want to go get, or I needed something and I had to go to the Dollar Tree specifically to get something, and then I come home and I haul it. But 2, the second thing that's the motivation is if I don't feel good enough to put up any other content, if I don't want to show you a cook, like if I'm not cooking that day, or if I can't cook that day, if I don't want to vlog because I'm just not feeling it, or you know, I can't craft, so I go to the Dollar Tree to have content. Like I specifically go there to have content. Those are usually the motivations behind doing Dollar Tree hauls. Those days when I come home with stuff from the Dollar Tree, there was a reason I went to the Dollar Tree in the first place. It's usually because I wasn't feeling good, or, you know, just couldn't do whatever else I needed to do. But the other thing is, when I do go to shopping and I I spend all that energy shopping, and then I have to set up the camera. And Dollar Tree hauls, no doubt, are the easiest videos for me to produce. Honestly, other than the vlogs here where I sit. No, even that's not true, because I don't, like when I vlog, sometimes I get into babbles, and I like usually watch everything before I put it on. I make sure I haven't stubbed my finger and accidentally cursed or something, you know, something like that, silly like that. But Dollar Tree hauls, you know, I usually pay attention to what I'm saying. You know, I usually don't rewatch them, you know. I usually just post up whatever. Unless I know, like, oh, I know I flubbed, or if somebody came in the room and messed me up or whatever, then I'll remember just at that moment, you know, because it's all happening. I'll remember, like, oh, you have to go back and cut out that piece when Jim, you know, called you from the living room or whatever it is. So, sorry. I don't want to say like I'm all over the place with this conversation, but I'm trying to reel it in. I feel like that was something that I used to get told quite often, is just reel it in, Jer. Hi. Yeah. So, usually on a day when I do a Dollar Tree haul, I'm spent, or I didn't have it to begin with. So by the time I'm ready to be finished and put everything away, and I know I mean sound like a broken record, but I don't have any energy left to do that. That's usually at the very the very end of the night. A lot of times we'll do Dollar Tree because I'm kind of waiting to see if I feel better. We kind of do Dollar Tree right before bed, or right before I have to upload it, really. Not bed, but right before I have to upload it. So It's a lot. It's extra. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to, and I don't blame, that's what I'm saying. I'm not complaining about gym. It's all my mess. I want you all to understand that 100%. It's all my mess. I know about everything that I've done. It's really my responsibility. It is not to sound like I'm making excuses, but I will tell you, it is hard. It is hard. No doubt. It really is, no doubt. It's hard. It's hard to do it all and still be creative. Another thing that I've mentioned before, and I don't know how long, I really don't know how long any of you have been watching. And it's not like I'm polling everybody, how long everybody. Hey, you in the audience, how long you been watching? I don't really know what all you've seen. So if I say something that I don't mean to like just constantly repeat myself, I just feel like I'm talking to new people from time to time. So sometimes I'll be like, I know you heard this before, but sometimes you haven't heard this before, so I should just say it. And then sometimes I lose my train of thought. Me and my friend Donnie used to be like, the train of thought has left me at the station. I'm standing at the platform and waving it goodbye. So, yeah, there's that. Does anybody else do this? So you get like epoxy, say. Just this is epoxy, two-part epoxy that you squeeze into a tube. Now, I know how this two-part epoxy works. I've been using two-part epoxy. But each brand could have different directions. They could have different dry times, different how long you're supposed to mix it, that kind of stuff. So even though it's very inconvenient to keep full packages in this bag, I don't take the package out. I don't open, oh, poop. I don't, certain things I keep in their packages. I don't unpackage them until I use them. But certain things, like this E6000 clear, I will show you what I do. Actually, I already did this with the Dritz. This was the Dritz, the Stitch, here, the Stitch Fix glue. What I do is I take the cardboard off and I slide it in the bag. This, it's going to sound silly, but this piece of plastic that really prevents your bag from being like, ooh, it's smooth. So I'll take the cardboard with the instructions on it and I'll slide it in the bag. And then I'll take the tube and I'll slide it in the bag. The cardboard instructions 9 times out of 10, well, really more like 99 times out of 100, has on the back of it what it is. You know, you can always look at the UPC if you ever have trouble, you know, like remembering, oh, if, you know, if the front got ripped off, you'd be like, oh, this is that E6000 plus, whatever. Okay. So, that being said, that's for recycling. Is that all the glues? No, I have my wood glue. It's the last glue. That's the last glue. Sorry. Nope, I'm not lining up. There we go. Do you hate that when that happens, when the Ziploc bag doesn't line up? Okay. So, anyhow. Where was I? I never know who's here new. So when I say, I probably told you this 1,000 times, and you may not have heard it 1,000 times. So I apologize if you've heard it 1,000 times and you're tired of hearing it. And I apologize if I'm telling you heard it when you didn't. Because then that makes people think they're crazy because they never heard that before. But one of the things that I've said before is and I've come to learn, many of you cannot be creative and tidy. My brain, has, my brain basically works like it's either creative or tidy. I'm either in organizational mode or I'm creative mode. And I'm not saying that I can't craft neatly. And I'm not saying that I can't organize or clean creatively. What I'm saying is, if I'm in a creative mode, if I'm in an organization mode, it's really hard to be creative for me. So that's just my thing. Obviously, that ain't your thing. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so that's just my thing. I feel like I've mentioned it before, and I'm like, womp womp. But yeah, so I am trying to make some sense of the space, because I really did want to be creative this morning. And this is another problem I have. So my first thought was I wanted to come in here and just jot down all the ideas, because by the time I actually get to create them, sometimes they're gone. And then I'll jot them down. If I don't jot them down and I'm like missing a supply, then I won't like remember. Okay, so like here's a perfect example. I want to make a red, white, and blue wreath. This isn't a true example, but this is just an example. So I want to make a red, white, and blue wreath. I want to make it with mesh. I want to make it with curly mesh, and I wanted to put this on it and that on it and that on it. So I come in here and I'm like, okay, 18-inch wreath form. Okay, I got all the accoutrement. I got all the embellishments. So let me go in and get my wreath. I've got red wreath. Mesh. I've got red mesh. I've got white mesh, and I'm out of blue mesh. If I don't jot down the design idea on a piece of paper, but I keep in my brain that I need blue mesh, I'll go to the Dollar Tree, I'll find the blue mesh, and I'll come home and I'll be like, what in heaven's name did I need this mesh for? That's pretty much how that goes. For reals. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. So, I like to be able to jot it down. I have last year's book there. This year's book, I started on a spiral binder, and I found it to be not convenient. It's just harder to sketch when, because when I do my design book, I have sketches, and it's hard to sketch around the spiral. It's weird, I know. I'm weird. Okay, so all of this is actually already organized. It just needs to be put away. Nope, it's not. What am I doing? What is that? Well, that's the new spray adhesive I wanted to try. Here's the ribbon. This isn't organized. I take that back. I 100% take that back. Okay. Okay, so I'll put this stuff away. Man alive. It's not easy. I was thinking about this. I was watching a relatively newer YouTuber do lifestyle videos, and she was just organizing her kitchen. And just simple things like showing you the basket, and then showing you putting stuff in the basket. It's hard. You have to reposition the camera, all the edits that come along with it. I'm not complaining. It's not nursing. It's not being in the army. I'm not trying to, our jobs are so hard, but I think what the point I'm trying to make is that I don't know that on the other side of that TV screen or phone screen or computer screen, it looks so simple to you, but do you know what goes into it? Now, I've talked about this on my channel before, of all the stuff that goes into making DIYs and filming videos. And I almost said to Jimmy that I was like, I wish you could film me filming. Like, just from like the time I bring the stuff in, the way I have to set it all up. And I don't even go that extra mile that a lot of people do. Like Sarah Jane from Chic on the Cheap. She, you know, lays out all her items, and she thinks about what she wants to say with each item, and then she sets up each. I'm like, she really, like, my Dollar Tree hauls are my easy things, and her, you know, she's got a lot of stuff going on in hers, but it is also why she's so successful, because her the way she presents is visually appealing. Yes, people love me because I keep it real, but I really don't have any other choice. It's too much work to try to do all that other stuff. And the whole point, I've made this mention 1,000 times, the whole point I do what I do is because I don't always have the strength and the energy to do, like, to take it the extra level. So, I cleaned off my table a little bit here. I have some projects that I never actually got to, that I'm like, do I actually want to get to them at this point? I get discouraged by other people, and I don't get discouraged like people put me down and discourage me, but I get discouraged, believe it or not, by, okay, what am I saying? I do get discouraged by some viewers who will say like, oh, I don't want to see that. Even though it's only, I don't know. I feel like if 3 people say they want to see it and 5 people say they don't want to see it, then I won't do it. If that makes any sense. There's also times like I wish I could just go back into the comments for years and years and be like, what's all the things that I said that I would do that only 1 or 2 people wanted to see? I should show that to them, type of thing. And I just don't, I can't remember what they are. I don't know what they are. So I hopefully now have this place a little bit more set up that I can actually do what I was hoping to do, like hoping to accomplish today. I did say to Jim, I know you get overwhelmed when you come in the office, but if we don't ever finish one time, it's only going to get worse. Like, I know I talked about this before, but I need his help. I need motivation. I need somebody's help. I need somebody to come in and just either be my legs or be my brain or be my hands. Like, it depends on the project and the day. And it's gotten to the point where, like, we never actually finished. I have footage. I think I mentioned this in a previous vlog. I have, like, footage, like, hours of footage of us doing the majority of the room, but only, like, about 70% of it. So that 30% that we never finished has become, yeah. Because if we leave one thing on the floor, this isn't nice to say. I'm not trying to be mean on my husband or whatever, but this is just how his brain works. If there's one thing on the floor, he thinks it's okay to put whatever he wants on the floor. I mean, he's not exclusive to that. There's people all over the country who do that. People all over the world who do that. They think like, oh, I guess it's okay to put stuff on the floor because there's stuff on the floor here. So regardless of where I say like, oh, could you go put this on the couch? Or could you put this on my craft table? Or could you put this by the garbage can? Like, he'll just be like, oh, I see the floor and I'll put it on the floor. Okay. I love him. I'm not trying to complain again. Stop. So when it happens, then I was going to say is that 70% grows to be about like another 100% of work we have to do. So the good news is that the work that we did do, the 70%, about 50% of what we did do is still perfectly done. We labeled the baskets. We rearranged some of the baskets. We labeled the baskets. Because as time goes on and you work with it, I've told you this when we were organizing, I think. The same thing with the pantry. as you live with it, as you like live your life working with it, you can see what works and what doesn't work. And that's really the key. The key is to see what works for you. Put it, implement it, use it, live with it, and see like, oh, yeah. I did have one thing because and this isn't a complaint again, of course, because his tools are on the floor of the closet with the crafts in it, and he often forgets to like put them back. I can't reach the top shelf when there's stuff on the floor, and I dare not put them back, because if I don't put his stuff back where it belongs, then that's another thing. So I did have to have him come in and get the basket off the top shelf for Mom the other day. Um, she's needed a canvas, so we got that. It was just actually the day before yesterday, but so it's little things like that. But otherwise, I'm capable of getting in there and getting everything else I used for crafting. I'm capable of putting stuff away. I never actually finished this project. So I'm like, do I put the stuff away and then pull it back out again when I finish the project? Sometimes for me, that's a stumbling block. I don't know why I couldn't just think of that word. That if I put it away, then I'll never get to that project. I don't know why. I just like that. I don't know why. So yeah, I have been talking for a really long time again. Well, anyway, I hope that I could give you a little insight into what's going on here and hopefully motivate you to just dig in, get it done, so that you can be creative, you can be crafty. You know what starts to happen? Like the stuff starts to encroach. Do you guys have that? So, sorry, that's an itch. So, my whole table could be cleaned off. I'll have like one organizing bin and my extension cords, and then get this, didn't use it, didn't put it back, have to put it back. It gets to be so much. My desire to do projects and my desire to do projects and my ability is not even the right word, but my ability to do the projects are often at odds with each other. They don't always agree. So today I feel like I can, so I think I will. And that's what I wanted to get to. So I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me and supporting me like you always do. I really do appreciate it. I wish I could have each one of you over for a cup of coffee. We would just sit and talk face to face and give hugs in real life and stuff. Maybe when the dream does come true of taking this show on the road, then that will happen. All right? So listen, I love you guys, and as always, you take care. God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye.